Hi, everyone. Happy Friday, and welcome back to Naylo's Thrift Talk. I'm Lola.
And I'm Nay.
And today we decided to actually make this episode a two-parter. So this is part one of our Show Us Your Duds episode. And we got so many submissions. So thank you to everyone who sent us your listings that we have enough for two parts. So we wanted to get to everyone. So you want to add anything to that, Nay?
Yeah, so some of you submitted more than one listing. What we're doing today, with the exception of Jason, because he can't be here next week, we're going to show all of his today. But for everyone else, we're going to split it up into, we're doing like one of your listings this week. We'll do one next week. And then we might not get to everyone that submitted today, but we'll get to you next week. So we're trying to get to everyone this way.
And if you missed our episode last week, we'll go back and watch it because I think it was just really fun to recap our first couple years of the show and celebrate our milestone 1,000 followers. So that was great. But what we're going to do this week is look at people's eBay. We got eBay, Etsy. I think that was it. Did we get any Poshmark listings?
I don't think we got any Poshmark or depop submissions or Mercari, but there's still another week to submit. So if anyone wants to submit one from one of those platforms.
So mostly eBay. We will critique, give some suggestions to help you find the right buyer. And of course, highlight some of the things that are great about the listings because we did get some good ones that were hard to find.
Yeah. In fact, some of them it was hard to find anything like that we really to make suggestions on. But this is not to bash you guys or rip apart your listings. It's to try to help you get to sell your duds. You know, sometimes it helps to have another set of eyes look at it. And, you know, sometimes those suggestions can turn into a sale. So that's what we're looking for everyone. So we have our usual segments this week. Our first segment is what thrifted items are Nay and Lola wearing? So Lola, tell us about what you're wearing this week.
Okay, so last week I wore some of my flannel, and this week I felt like pulling out a different one. So this is, the brand is Trails End.
I've heard of that. It's like one of those like rugged kind of Western.
Yeah, brands. It is like cotton. So it's not wool, which is rare, but sometimes you do find like wool plaid shirts. But it's really thick. So I actually did think it was wool at first. It's like a really, really nice thick weave. It feels really, like you said, rugged. And I looked up comps. I didn't look too hard for solds, but everything that was currently listed was between like $25 and $35. And it does seem like this brand's heyday was in the 80s. So pretty much everything dated these shirts to the 80s, which seems about right based on the tags and everything. So I'll probably end up listing this one, but I'm going to enjoy wearing it first. And I'm wearing my favorite vintage 90s overalls. So I feel like I'm ready to go apple picking or something. I'll have to redo this outfit when I finally get to go apple picking.
Overalls are cute. Very cute. Adorable. So I am wearing, first of all, my mannequin behind me. So I got this from Thrift to You. It was just like, they didn't have the best pictures. I didn't quite know what I was getting. It was like dress, you know, like, and it had like a picture, but it's a Halloween costume, which is cool. It's like a Renaissance, but it's perfect time to list. So I have it on my mannequin because I'm going to take pictures of it today and try to get it listed. I did notice there's a small rip in one of the seams, but I'll just note that. And I'm sure that somebody that's putting together a costume is probably likely to be able to, you know, hopefully be able to sew. It's so easy. I could sew it and I don't have any sewing skills. So
or not really worry about it if they're just going to wear it one night.
Yeah. Got these cool sleeves. It's like, you know, got those, it's velour, you know, it's just really pretty. So I think my keywords will be like maybe Renaissance. I don't know. Obviously, it's a maxi kind of Victorian. I don't know. I'll have to think of some good keywords for it, but I'm going to market it as a Halloween costume because I'm pretty sure that's, you know, what it was originally. So, and oh no, oops, sorry. I just dropped my home decor item. So I'm sorry about my dog. So I am home without my kids, but now my dog's going to start. So it's a good thing I have a door to shut. So I have this shirt on, if you can see what it is.
So cute.
Yeah. So I think it's like The brand INC, which is like
Is that international concept?
concept. Yeah. So it's nothing, but it's like a long tunic top. It's actually big on me now. And what I love is for a long time, I've had this for years, for a long time it didn't fit me, but I've lost 42 pounds and it fits me and it's big.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm wearing it with leggings and it's like super comfy. So I'm excited to be able to, bring out some of my older clothes. So this was thrifted from a thrifting board member. I'm going to have to get my dog in a minute. It was thrifted from a thrifting board member. So that's the story. I don't remember who, but it was a couple years ago. I'm going to go take care of my dog.
Okay. While Nay is doing that, I will jump ahead to my thrifted home decor item. Oh, there we go. So I feel like I'm always sharing items that I've just held on to for a long time because they seem to be like some of my most special thrift finds. And this one is one of those items. It is this vintage, more than vintage, almost antique scrapbook that is completely falling apart. But it just has like the most amazing images glued into all of the pages and all of these like weird little newspaper clippings. I think a lot of them are jokes. Like they're not like historically relevant. They're like some of them are a little off color. I think like that cartoon's really funny. So I don't know. It just like captured my imagination when I found it in high school at this little antique store that doesn't exist anymore. But it was just like the perfect antique store to go hunting in because it was disorganized and nothing was priced. And you could just dig through these boxes of things that the owner hadn't sorted through yet and find all of these gems that like he didn't even know he had. And so I don't know, I just like flip through this every now and then and like read new things and notice things that I hadn't noticed before. So even though it's completely fallen apart, I will never list it. And it is sort of one of my treasures. You ready, Nay?
Yeah, hopefully he won't continue that. So sorry. It's like I don't have my kids today, but I'm lucky. I still am in the door that I can shut, at least in a room with a door that I can shut. So I was saying about this shirt though, because the dog was barking over me. It was posted a few years ago. I don't remember who it was, but it was a thrifting board member, and I was just like, they needed help with the listing, or it was on the share thread or something, and I was like, oh, that's my shirt. I have to buy. So I messaged them and I was like, and I got in touch with them and I bought it from them right away. So it was thrifted, but from a thrifting board member, which is kind of fun. So this is my son. I don't usually take my kids thrifting. It's a disaster every time. So especially less so, like when they were little. So this was, and I can tell you by the date because the price tag is on it. 7/29/2017. So my son Brendan, yeah, because of the Goodwill stickers on it.
The stickers on it.
So my son Brendan was thrifting with me, and yeah, so he's 12 now, so he would have been about 8 at the time, and he saw this at the thrift store, and he was like, Mom, I want to buy that for you. And he had his little wallet with like his change and his dollar bills in it. And I was like, you know what? I think I would have bought it anyway. I'm going to buy it. Thank you so much. So this was my gift from Brendan. He found it while we were thrifting. And as you can see, it still has the 99.
That is so cute.
Yeah. But so I have this on my nightstand as a reminder that, my kids love me. And yeah. So.
Yeah. Heather said both of our stories are very sweet and we both had like sentimental items today.
And I'll have to go watch the replay now to see the rest of yours. But
yeah.
It's so funny though. And this, it's just like something that probably wasn't that expensive in the first place. It's not, but it has such sentimental value because my son saw it in the thrift store and picked it out for me and was like, that's you, Mom.
Of course. That's so sweet.
So that was a very, very touching thing that, and it was a story of thrifting with my son, which doesn't happen very often. So our next segment is.
Yeah.
Yes, very true. Our next segment Can you pull it up? There, thanks. Okay. So I actually have one of my listings because it was a dud that sold. So I thought that would have been appropriate today. So this one I got it for free. The brand is Karen Scott, which is like one of those Macy's brands. That's kind of like, it doesn't really have a great resale value. It was new with tags, but it was also an extra large petite, and that's a kind of a tough size to sell. Yeah. So I listed it, and my friend, she had given me a bunch of clothes that from her and her daughter. She was like, I was going to donate these. She actually called me one day because she was in town. She's like, it was during COVID. She's like, I dropped the bag off on your steps, so just go out and get it. So it was really, so it was free, but it sat for a long time, and I was like, oh, I'll just get it listed. But it sat for a long time. It's been listed for over a year. But the surprising thing isn't necessarily that I sold it, but the offer I got on it. I had it listed, I think, for $30, and she gave me a best offer of $29.01 plus shipping. I was like, I'll take it. So so that was a bit of a surprise. So you never know with things that you think are going to be duds or they've been sitting for a while. Sometimes you just get a really reasonable offer. So
yeah, what a great offer.
I know. So I was happy with that. And I just, as a lead in to our next week's show. So my kids, as I said, are back in school. This is my 3 boys. They just started 8th, 7th, and 3rd grade yesterday. So we have had to move our show time now to 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern. It was 2 p.m. So we're going to do our show from approximately 1 to 2 now, because my kids get off the bus at 3. So that kind of kills everything. So next week is our part 2 of this show. So if anyone wasn't able to submit a dud, we can still take a couple more, not too many more, because we're kind of but we can still take a couple more. We'd love to have some from other platforms too. So if you have a Poshmark or a Depop listing, something like that. But that's going to be next Friday, the 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We're going to have to switch this time at least for a while my kids are in school. So. And we're going to be bringing in now a very special surprise guest who's been waiting in backstage. So, hello,
1,000 subscribers. Woo! Oh, what? Oh, I'm on the Dud show. How did that happen? I thought I was on the 1,000 subscribers show.
Well,
did you guys save me for the duds? Is that what's happening? Am I finding out I'm a dud?
Well, thank you, Jason. We showed this last week, and you are included in that because you've always been very supportive. You let us post every week in the thrifting board. You're always, always supporting our show, and we would never have gotten to 1,000 subscribers if not for your help. So thank you as our friend. We appreciate
you're very welcome. And since I couldn't be here live last week, I brought prizes this week. Surprise.
What? My goodness.
Yeah.
So let's do one prize right now, however you want to do it. And there's something in here.
That's such a surprise. We did not know this was coming.
There's a bonus gift inside here. See, it's not empty.
Oh,
wow. And that is a very fun color.
That is awesome. I love it. And fanny packs, I think, have just stayed in. Everybody's
they're still in.
Very much in. So
however you want to give it away now.
Well, what we'll do is, I guess
we can do what we did last time. So you want to win, put a number in the chat, and we will do.
Here, let me take this off the screen.
Random.org.
Yeah,
it's a fancy fanny pack.
This is very fancy. That looks perfect for if you're thrifting.
All right, so everybody can type a number in the chat from 1 to 100, and whatever's closest without going over, we'll do again.
And then I'll have a gift for those who watch after the fact too.
Okay, and I have the number here, so
we'll end with that.
Awesome. So we're gonna do a couple of your duds that you gave us. So get that thing off the.
Oh, I'm not the dud. Oh, thank God.
No, you're not the dud. You're a scorer. You're a scorer.
Yes, I was away last Friday. I'm away next Friday, so here I am.
Perfect timing.
Here I am in the middle.
So we will show. So let's see what's going on in the chat here.
So give it another
Thank
second.
you. That's a nice surprise.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What a great prize too.
It's awesome. All right. So
I think we've got. I don't see any more coming in. So
All right. Well, all right. Everybody done? All right. I'm going to show the number. It is 79.
79. Okay.
That would be
Heather.
Heather.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think that's Heather. Oh, I was trying to show her. Did you just click on it?
All right,
no.
so whoever wins,
Yeah, wow,
Heather won it. We need to see a picture of you rocking this at the thrift store.
yes.
There we go. Heather won. So congratulations, Heather. So,
All right, Heather, just send me your mailing address, and I will get that out. If not today, by Monday morning.
oh, thank you so much, Jason. That was such a nice surprise.
Woo!
Very awesome. So.
Oh, and Lori says, great show last night.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, yes, it was a good show last
Oh
night.
yeah, and Heather, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, yay. Look at that.
We really did not. That was actually random.
Yeah, that came out. That was a perfect thing.
Well, we're so glad.
Birthday.
Oh, very cool. All right. Trying to figure out with the third guest what okay. So
Yeah, if you want to make an offer, feel free.
so all of these that's the other thing. So if anyone in the chat is looking for anyone, maybe we can match a buyer up for
I
some of
cannot sell this sweater to save my life. I thought it was so cool. If I was an Oregon Ducks fan and I was a size medium, I would have kept it myself. It's a cool sweater, but no one wants it.
It's super similar to the Sixers sweater that I found for Chris. And I remember looking up comps and being almost like, this is getting sold, because the comps were like $75 to $100, but Chris kept it.
Does Chris like Oregon Ducks?
Well, no, but I was surprised to see that the comps on this, I don't know if it's because it's not a major league team, but they were a lot lower.
Oh yeah.
So this was like a stumper for me. I think that the couple things that jumped out at me were, I think football makes sense as the sport in the title, but maybe you could work in a couple other sports into the description, because it is a college team. So they do have more sports, and they're known for their track and field, which I don't know if people dress up for track and field events like this, but it might be like a different sports fan who's looking for this than you'd expect. But you can find it, searching for Oregon Ducks. So you don't necessarily need the sport keyword to find the item.
That's another thing. The other thing is, I think do you have it on a female, Manny? I do see it's unisex.
No, it's on a male.
Okay, is it? All right. It looks like
there's no boobies.
Okay. All right.
You could maybe take pictures
I
on a female mannequin and show both. That might be helpful.
I like that idea.
Because I think especially for like women who have larger chests, it's hard to buy unisex items and trust that they're actually going to look appropriate.
That's true. Unisex is also a selling point, because there are people that, don't, there's transgender, there's people there's all people. So
there's all people. I think that just covered it.
I'm not getting my point across very well, but you know what I'm trying to say.
There's just all people.
Yeah. They're non-binary people who would be more interested in not non-gendered clothing, but
that's exactly what I was trying to say. So unisex might be a good thing to add. Do you think, to the title?
In the title, put unisex.
I'm thinking, or somewhere. I mean, I think it's in the
description, right?
Yeah. So
see, we did the college fan apparel, so isn't beholden to, like, when you do normal clothing, it's men's or it's women's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we went the college apparel way because it isn't really specific that way.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think that was smart. I think it's in the right category. That is a good aid. A couple people in the title, in the chat, have said to change the title, put University of Oregon.
This is the third title. We tried University of Oregon.
You've already tried that. Okay.
That didn't work. So, and then ugly Christmas sweaters is what it is. So you can't leave the word ugly out. That's the whole point of ugly Christmas sweaters.
Right. And since we're getting back to the Christmas season, that was one thing I did think of, but I think it makes sense to keep ugly Christmas sweater first, because that's going to be in season again soon.
We have a mannequin with arms, and we don't usually do pullovers on them because it takes forever to get the arms up. But maybe if we put the arms on and give a little like attitude or something.
I wish I had pockets because I love, tucking the arms into the pockets. But I think also
sweaters typically don't have pockets.
I know.
Unless you're a grandfather and it's a cardigan.
So this is another good point that a couple people have said is that the size medium looks very small, just as since COVID medium is the new extra small.
Yeah, it does look tiny.
I will say this was up pre-COVID. This has been up for 2 years.
It does what if you put the chest measurement in the title? Because it does look very small for a medium, so making it clear with the chest, especially for a unisex item, because that's going to make different things.
It does look super tiny. That's true. It looks like an extra small on the. I don't know why. Maybe it's just, but it looks super small. So, yeah.
Oh, and the other thing that might help is just making the first photo have a white background, like using eBay's tool to remove the background, because that may help with the like Google shopping recommendations.
I mean, I think it'll get too blown out with the yellow on the one side there.
Yeah, I think it needs a darker background but I know.
The problem with this sweater is you got dark on the one side, light on the other side. So gray was the.
It looks hard to photograph. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought I had a winner when I bought it 2.5 years ago. Apparently not.
I think some of these sweaters are winners depending on what team it is, but I guess this one just
maybe
isn't the right
one. I appreciate all the suggestions for the titles. That title's been that way. I mean, all the ways you guys suggested, I've tried them all. I mean, I could start with Argyle. I mean, that's the only thing I haven't started with. We have tried it all. Nothing.
We have flat.
I definitely do not have a Christmas background.
Flat lay for one of the photos. I will say you should try it on Depop as well, because it would be a great Depop item.
Lay and Depop and my pen.
Yeah, put it on. Definitely put it on Depop. I would definitely cross list there.
All right.
Because it seems like a younger person is probably going to buy it, and that's where you get the younger audience. So
someone who's currently at the university.
Yep. So that would definitely be Depop. Or even Poshmark. You could try Poshmark too, because there's younger buyers there too.
You know what? I've had so long I don't have it on Marketplace, and so you're right. Someone at college might see it on Marketplace with shipping.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, you could add it to Marketplace like for that area. So.
Yep. All right. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
So those are some really good suggestions.
Started this with a hard one.
Yeah, I know, right? So this one is the next one, and Lola actually had a couple points on this.
Hit me, Lola.
Okay, so this dress is amazing. I think what the biggest selling point on it is that it's a hotel uniform, because there's really avid hotel, like vintage hotel. Not souvenir.
Connoisseurs.
Hotel labels are super collectible. I don't know if you're familiar with those. Like China, things like that are labeled with the name of a vintage hotel, especially if it's no longer in existence. And you've talked about that before with like the Vegas casinos.
Yep.
So I did search for like hotel uniform, and this was one of the top results. So that was good. But I was wondering if there's like any other ways you can play up the hotel connection, like maybe adding, I noticed the description is pretty simple. So you could add something in a description about this hotel, maybe say when it was in existence, if it still exists, where it was located. I don't know if you have the city or the town that it was in anywhere in the listing, because that would be relevant. So that's the angle I would play up for this one, because you already have all the keywords. If someone's looking for a beautiful Hawaiian muumuu,
the funny thing was I was looking at that, even though it's my listing, I didn't list it, and I'm like, that's not really a muumuu, and so I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'll get rid of muumuu.
So I was wondering that, but you know better than I do, so I didn't say that.
Yeah, I know, because you're the expert. I don't. But
muumuus are definitely more free flowing. This one is definitely cut like a dress. Not that muumuus are dresses, but
yeah, it is more of a mini dress. Actually, it looks like it's short. Yeah, so that would appeal to a different audience. And again, with platforms, this would be a great Depop item and a great Etsy item. So, I would definitely move to those platforms as well. I mean, your pictures are great. You've got the keywords, you've got, but yeah, I would, and we have some suggestions, a couple of suggestions in the chat. Heather says maybe don't put vintage first. I can't.
Yeah, I don't think I've switched that, but absolutely.
Oops.
Okay. Go ahead, Lola.
There we go.
Heather said don't have vintage first. Heather,
yeah, you might put like Hawaiian dress, hibiscus,
yep,
hotel, vintage.
Yeah, so and for those of you in the chat who are talking about the background removal, yeah, the eBay tool isn't the best. I use Photoshop if I really have something that I really need to take on, and I have Photoshop Express, but if I really need to, if I'm selling like an $800 item, I'm going to take it into Photoshop and do it. But I have something called Magic Eraser too, which is like, I think the app was like $2.99 or something, and it's fantastic. So there's other apps out there too. Yeah.
The one that I use, I mentioned in the chat, is called Baazart, Baazart.
Right, I remember you talking about that.
And it is something that it's a subscription. It's like $7 a month or something. I pay for it because I've tried all the different like background removal tools, and it's by far the one that seems like it's the most accurate. It gets the background cleanest from the item every time. So it has been worth it for me. It's way better than the eBay tool for sure.
Oh yeah.
Jess has a question in the chat. I'm not really, I'm honestly not sure of that answer. I kind of think it's like vintage is like the known acronym, but I don't know if it's really searchable. Do you know, Jason? Go ahead.
Oh, Jason, I believe that it is, but it's less important now that that item specifics are such a big thing. Because
it used to be 100%. If you searched vintage, all the VTGs would show up. It is not 100% anymore, but I feel when you need a couple extra characters and you've written out vintage, you can shorten it to VTG, and you were good to go.
But yeah, I think Heather's right. You could put it last in the title, because if someone's looking for vintage, it will find it based on the item specifics and bring it into the search results regardless.
Yeah. All right. So we do have some feedback on this one for you. So I would say maybe add in orchestra. I don't know if there's some of those keywords that you can take out. You can take off like the apostrophe. You can get it down a little. You can probably take off the word for. I mean, and I know it's the Center for the Performing Arts, but it's going to come up. But I would try to get in some extra, like if you could add in orchestra, this would be a great gift for like a music teacher or a conductor. So if you could get those keywords in there somewhere, somebody's going to be searching for a music teacher gift this year for their teacher. And musical instruments or just instruments, I would try cross-posting it on Etsy and Depop as well. And then Lola had a few suggestions too. So
yeah, so I would, in the description, add a line about which instruments are on the image so that you get those keywords included. I'm like, if someone's a harp player and wants, it's a gift for someone who plays the harp, and the person who's searching for this might want to know that that's on the image. I think from the photos, so it looks like it's a machine finished hem. I would add that in the description. It's on a selling point, but I think it's a detail that some buyers would want to know whether it's hand rolled or not. And it's not. So
okay, so it's not hand rolled.
It's not hand rolled, as far as I can tell from that photo. It looks like
that's machine stitched. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
And then the Kennedy Center's in DC, right? So I would make sure you have that. And I would consider this a souvenir scarf, which is a specific thing that some people collect.
That's true. There are collectors of specific souvenir scarves. Yes.
So I love to pick up vintage scarves from places that I've been. So that could be a keyword that would help. Or you don't even have to put souvenir scarf. I think you might put scarf and then put souvenir in the title at the end or near the end.
So I was doing a quick little test. So when you do Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, 174 listings come up. When you remove for the, 317. So yeah, 4 of those got to go.
Okay.
Not needed.
That's what I thought, that you had those extra words. You could buy you some extra keywords like souvenir or
Yep.
instruments or whatever we suggested there. So.
Yeah, that's what, and just put a music instrument in the title if room. If there was one that was like the most prominent, I might add a specific instrument, but maybe just putting orchestra instruments into the title would be good.
Yeah.
And then listing them write out a sentence that says like, this scarf depicts saxophones, violins, pianos.
I would get something in there too that would say that it would be a great gift for a music teacher or a conductor or something like that. So that
I'm never gonna write crap like that. You know me.
Put it in the item specific somewhere.
What a lovely gift this would be for your orchestra instructor.
You don't have to write a florally
to give them for Christmas. No, you know me.
It doesn't have to be a florally description, but I'm trying to get you to get in the words music teacher, orchestra.
I know.
Those keywords in there so that if people search, they can. That's
Symphony.
That's the point. Symphony, yeah.
Yep, symphony. All right, good keywords, everybody. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Jason, for popping in.
All right, I got one more gift. So here's what we're gonna do. I was thinking about this while we were chatting.
Okay.
So this will be for the people who comment after the fact. Okay. So
okay.
I was gonna have them write "Hail Satan," but I figured you guys might not go for that because I'm giving away a Dennis Sin glass.
Oh,
that's a great gift.
And so let's have the commenter say I love the Den of Sin.
So this is the comment on the actual YouTube video afterwards.
Right. So not live chat right now. Those who watch after the fact, and then what you guys should do, but it's your show, do whatever you want. Next week, draw from those names who followed the instructions.
We're gonna do a drawing at the end from last week too.
Okay. So I love the Den of Sin, and then I'll send you a glass if you're the winner.
Okay, so remember that, guys, because I had people commenting like on my Facebook post and all, thinking, no, it's got to be on the YouTube video for a chance. So
look, the instructions we make when we do these fun things aren't hard, but people don't pay attention.
We only had 5 people comment this week for a chance to win the T-shirt. So I mean, I appreciate everyone who commented, but a lot of people put the comments on my Facebook post, and I can't qualify.
Oh, yeah.
The last flag I gave away, I think, was for the Marines, and Navy. All I said was, I'm in the Navy and I want this. And then that was a whole contest and people couldn't follow that. I'm like, how much easier could I make it? There wasn't. Oh, very nice. Real quick, if I can plug something. I'm on my friend's cocktail show tonight on YouTube. So not my channel, but it's going to be a ton of fun. It's called Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour. But if you just find me on Facebook, or the Thrifting Board of the Secret Beach, the post is up. He's got a fun show talking about the history of cocktails, and him and I talked for 4 hours, and he somehow whittled it down to 48 minutes.
Wow.
We'll be live in the chat during the show. So come check it out. Something totally different than all of our fun thrifting stuff. And Nay and Lola, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. And
thank you.
Thank you and everybody for the help on my listings.
What time is that tonight, Jason, again?
The pre-party on Instagram starts at 9 p.m. East Coast, and then the show drops on YouTube at 9:30 p.m.
Okay, great. Awesome. Great. Thank you. All right.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
All right. So we'll do that for you guys have to comment on the actual YouTube video, not here in the chat, not on my Facebook post, but on after this gets posted live or after the fact to YouTube. Comment on the video with I love the Denison. So. Okay.
Deb, a couple quick more comments on Jason's last item.
Oh, okay.
Marianne says, I don't think anyone's searching for that name. You mean the Kennedy Center? I think Kennedy Center might be enough in the title. I meant to say that before you left.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then just put them in the item specifics if you don't want to be so flowery. Yeah, the problem with including things like music teacher, I'm not sure there's the right items because it's not actually related to the item, but it's a useful keyword to try and catch, like if someone's looking for like music teacher gift. And it could also help, again, like if someone's searching on Google, not straight on eBay, that those keywords could help. So
yeah. Speaking of music teachers, what a great transition. Aaron is a music teacher, and this is his listing. So So yeah, this is our friend Aaron and Matt from Pete's Treasures. This is their listing. So they said that they know that we do, you know, we know a lot about fabric, so they're giving us this listing to try to help sell.
Mhm.
So I would say to add the dimensions and the fabric content is probably cotton, and maybe the pattern and the year 1991, because I do see that I see the year 1991 on the side of in one of the close-up photos. So I would maybe add those in the keywords or the description.
Mhm.
And then as far as you had some other comments too. So let's see, their description is. You had some other comments too, Lola?
Yeah, I might put 90s or what was it, 1991 in the title, just because the 90s are so big right now.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't see they don't have it in the description either. So they don't have the year. They do, I think they have 1991 they do have it in the item specifics. But
Mhm.
yeah.
And then I think this counts as cottagecore.
I agree. I would, yeah. I think
Both
so.
the style, but also just the fact it's like an easy craft. It's the kind of thing that people are, you know, like people who are into cottagecore are into trying new crafts right now and making things by hand. So it kind of fits into that whole aesthetic, not just in its looks, but also in like what it is.
Yeah.
So I do think like it could be a good depop item too. But I would add cottagecore to the title.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that, and I think, I mean, they have a ton of item specifics, so great job there.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it is, you know,
Yeah,
I mean, their pictures are great.
Panel is
They're showing all the
really
pictures.
good. Yeah.
You might want to try it on Etsy too, because
Oh yeah.
that might,
Definitely.
I don't, yeah. So, but I would keep trying. I mean, I think it's, I think your prices, you could probably even do like bump it up a little bit with free shipping. Maybe that would, I don't know.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it was a little bit more expensive, if it would seem more appealing.
I kind of feel like that too. Like the price needs to be bumped up a little. Like I'm almost thinking like $19.99 with free shipping or best offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking $14.95 with free shipping, but which would probably be about the same. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could do that too. I mean, you could just do $14.99 with free shipping with no offers on it too. So,
Lisa
but I would bump it up.
She's done well on Etsy with cut and sew panels. Yeah, it might just be a really good Etsy item.
Yep, I think so too. So maybe just a matter of moving the platform, but pictures are good, and so good luck with it. We hope it sells for you. And you guys, if you see anything here, you can buy it from your fellow resellers, or if something sells, please follow up and let us know. So.
Yeah, Heather says lots of work for $9.77, so bump up the price. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this is Joan Erler's listing. So Joan says that this has been listed since March of 2016. So that's quite a while. And through 2 presidential elections with no offers, she paid $10, and normally Wilton Armetal sells very well for her. So when I did a search for this, it seems like there's a lot listed on and not a lot of sold. And a lot of them are listed for a lower price on eBay, and they're just not selling. So I think even though I know you have $10 invested, but you also have, you know, like 6 years invested in it, you know, 5 years, I guess. So I would also think about, you know, do you want it out the door? I would definitely lower the price. I did see some search results. So this is Joan's listing on the top left, $35.99. And you'll see like a lot of Wilton plates are, you know, you see $9.99. This is a whole different thing. There's one that's comparable for $13.
Yeah.
You know, I see sets of 3 that are $15.
It may just be an item that's gone down in price.
Yeah, one for $9.95 plus shipping, but yeah,
it does seem like the shipping can be quite expensive on some of these because it's a heavy item. So, what was her shipping? Was it?
Let me see the listing. It is $16.05 standard shipping. And that's I'm surprised because I'm in New Jersey and this is coming from New York, it says. So
yeah, it might be worth trying. I mean, I think we both said this might be a good item to try on a different platform like Mercari, especially with the shipping. That might be true because if Mercari shipping would cost half of that, or like on Poshmark, you can ship up to £5 for, a flat rate. That might be the best shipping method. So,
you can try a marketplace too, because then you don't even have to, if somebody local buys it, you don't have to ship it. Heather says sometimes we have to let it go. And yeah, you have great pictures. You have the keywords. You have
the pictures are so good.
No, you have the best pictures really out of all the other listings. Mm-hmm. This might just be one of those items that just doesn't have the attraction anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, it could be the kind of thing where it's not selling here, but it might sell at $12 and you can recoup your investment.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's worth trying that first. And then, if it still doesn't sell, maybe eventually letting it go.
Yeah, I definitely think that you need to bump down the price and try some different platforms.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at your listing, Joan, I got an offer. So you are sending out offers. I give you kudos for that. So this is funny because I did get an offer on your listing.
The shipping is different here, but it's still quite expensive.
Yeah, I don't know why the shipping changed, but the offer was at $28.79, which was 28% off, but it's still a lot higher than any of the other ones that I've seen listed. Another thing is if you do have any other Wilton plates, you said that Wilton usually sells well, probably an off chance, but if you find any at the thrift store, you could also do a lot and group them together, and that might that might sell it too.
Yeah, I mean that's hard because it's then investing more money in something that isn't moving.
It is. So, but if you happen to find or you happen to have another one already, I wouldn't go out of your way on a search for one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess those are basically my. Do you have any other additions to that?
No, I think we both are on the same page with that one. That there wasn't. I mean, it's such a good listing. There's not really a lot of improvement to do. So I think the best tip might just be a different platform and lowering the price. Yeah.
Yes, try that, and if it still doesn't sell, Jason, sometimes that's just I know you invested $10 in it, but is it really worth 5 years of headaches? So so Joan's in the chat. So
hi, Joan.
Yeah, and you did have great photos, great keywords, great. Like it wasn't a problem with your listing. I think it's just platform price mostly.
Yeah, and the pictures you had of all the details, like the hallmarks and stuff, were so good. I think it was actually a really good example of getting all of those those small details really well. So.
Yeah, I think your listing blew all the other ones out of the water. So if you lower your price and people are searching for this, your listing is going to stand out. Because it already has it's the better listing. It's got better pictures. So you have an edge already. So if you lower your price, maybe let us know. All right. So Heather said that she has to call in her husband for this. So this is Heather's listing. So obviously this is out of our wheelhouse.
Yeah. So if Bob knows more about what this item is than we do, we might not be able to help you as much.
Lola did some research.
I did a little Googling, and I don't know anything about this website or how accurate any of this information is. But this was the only thing I could find about when this item was used and what it was used for. And it seems like it is a completely out of date HVAC item. So it's not one of those electronic pieces that's there's retro collectors who put them to use, as far as I can tell from this.
So you have a very specified odd audience, like somebody that's a geek HVAC guy, like a collector or some kind of, it's going to be a very specific buyer, I think, or somebody that maybe has one and needs to replace parts.
Well, but so I don't think that there's anyone who's going to need to pull this out to use it. Sometimes there's someone who's repairing really old electric equipment would need to, but I don't think even for an old HVAC system, you would pull this out to test it. I don't know anything about HVAC, so I could be totally wrong, but it just seems like this is actually out of date and not something that in a really niche situation someone would need. But it's really cool looking. So what jumped out at me was that this could be like a cool thing to use if you were like creating a like an interface for a child's PlayStation where it's like, I don't know, like a spaceship or something. Like the buttons and dials seem really cool. So it may be something that like it makes sense to part out and sell like the panel, or take it apart and just sell the like the parts that buttons and stuff that like moves.
It could appeal to like an artist or a crafter. I mean, that is possible.
Yeah.
We're not we're not saying there is.
I'm trying to really think outside the box here for you. Sorry. Yeah, so
Lisa says kind of steampunk.
Yeah. So but the only problem with it being good for collectors is there's a bunch of them listed and it doesn't seem like they're selling. So if there's collectors who are looking for these, they're not that hard to find. And it looks like it's super heavy. So yeah, like $15.65 shipping is actually less than I would have expected.
Okay, so you said it lights up. You might want to add a video of that too.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah.
So I didn't know because we don't know, and that would also put an edge over. So I don't see any sold, but I did find another one that was listed, and they have theirs at a significantly less price than yours, and the shipping is also looks like it's less. So if you have an edge over their listing, like you were showing a video or showing it light up, that might sell yours, and you might want to lower the price a little bit. You know, I know the shipping is going to be high, but and I did also, interestingly enough, I found one listed on Etsy. So maybe that's, the whole like steampunk kind of crafter vibe,
Yeah,
like,
but $77 also seems really high for this because there's several. If you just Google this, the phrase of like what it is, the Anim Otherm air meter, I had to dig through like half a dozen listings to find that one blog post that kind of explained what it was. So unfortunately, they're not that hard to find. But yeah, I think the video is a really good idea. Trying to
$108.29 on this one. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you have, and that's what I mean. I think, so the other listing was higher. It was a little higher price than yours, but it looks like you lowered the price. I think, did you have it higher and you just lowered it? Because I thought it was higher. I think it was higher when I first looked at it, Heather. Am I wrong? Yeah, I think that price is better. The other guy has their shipping. So you're coming from North Carolina, they're coming from Michigan, and theirs is like at $12. I don't know how the other person on Etsy had figured $108. That's crazy. But I think you're competitive with the other listing now. So I would add a video in there and see what.
So maybe it's not a total dead yet.
Yeah, maybe there's hope. Let us know. Yeah, but you have great pictures. You have a great, you've got all the keywords in there. I think you had, I mean, as many item specifics as you could put in, your description. I mean, it kind of like speaks for itself what it is. You have dimensions. So, so good job on the listing, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and then again, I mean, this
lower the price. Okay.
This could be a Mercari listing, so then you can take advantage of a different shipping pricing system, and maybe it's a little bit cheaper that way.
Yeah, try
I don't know exactly how heavy it is, but
definitely try Marketplace. But okay, so Bob did lower the price. Okay, yeah, because I think it was $99 in the beginning, and I was saying, oh, you got to lower your price because the other one was $52, and I saw, but I think this price is much better.
Yeah,
so that might help already. All right, so we have up next is, let me get rid of these. Okay, so this is Chris Coleman's listing. And let's see, this is, so these are travel. Do you hear like a whistling in the background, Lola?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, so I would say add travel to the title because now it's interesting because Chris actually has travel as a subgenre, but sports as a genre, and I don't think these are actually sports.
Oh yeah, and it's under all about this product too, it comes up twice. So it may have been maybe like a sell similar issue that's still, stuck around from another item. I definitely have caught some of those after listing before. So
there's the description. Yeah. So
Brian, here's a whistling.
Yeah, I don't know what it's weird. I don't know what the whistling is. I don't think it's on my end. I don't have anything
on my end, and I'm just not hearing it.
I don't know. It's very odd. It's like a high-pitched whistling noise.
Wait, I do hear something high-pitched now.
Oh, I don't hear it.
Okay. Well, if it gets worse, let us know in the chat. I'm trying.
So I think you need to add travel to the title. Remove the hyphen. You don't need a hyphen in full length. That's probably like a replica of copying the listing from another, doing a sell similar. I think the shipping seems a little high on this. You have $17.60 that's coming from Missouri to New Jersey. I think that's a little high. So I would think about, getting that shipping down. But I think that adding travel, removing the hyphen, adding some.
The title here could use some work in general. So I don't think you need full length at all. I think you can just put 24 DVDs, and then I would switch that with 48 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't think you need the term public television. I actually did do a search. So one thing you can do for keywords is do a keyword search and see how often they're used on Google. There's some tools that say that they do it for eBay, but I was looking through them and none of them seemed that reliable. But I did a search for the keyword public television, and it was quite a low, not very highly used search term on Google, which makes me think that the same would also be true on eBay. So you may be able to just remove that and then try and brainstorm, like Nay said, travel, and there's specific locations that are included.
Yeah. I think also Heather said maybe a better photo. I think the photo is a little bit, it's not bad. I think you could crop in a little bit and get rid of the bottom. Maybe, it's a little blown out. Maybe take some of the DVDs out and, show, I don't know. But Chris does usually take really great photos. And the photos have all the information we need in them.
The way it's arranged looks really good. But I wonder if almost like a flat lay where it's all of the DVDs are flat instead of standing up, and then you just have the white background might be cleaner. That's a great point, Jess.
Yeah. I think the shipping is off-putting. To me, it's coming from Missouri to me in New Jersey. I'm not going to pay $17.60 to have a
$40 item with best offer.
So I think those are some great suggestions. Good luck with it, Chris. And then, okay, so this one is Lori. So Lori is the reason that we're doing this topic. Laura, it was Lori's suggestion. She gave us some more. We'll do one or two more of hers next week. But this is a Ted Baker skirt. Ted Baker is a pretty high-end brand. It has been a little bit of a tougher sell for me, but I don't think we'll definitely get rid of the hyphens in the title because those are just taking up real estate space that you don't need. I think you do need to. So maybe rearrange the title a bit. I don't think new needs to be first. And it's actually Ted Baker London. You might want to add that in. I think the shipping at $9.99 is a little high too, because you can do, you could probably put that in even in a priority flat rate, or if it's 15 ounces or under, it can go first class. So I think that's a little bit high. So you can get that down. And then I would also try cross-posting it on Poshmark, because that brand is probably a brand that's going to do better on Poshmark, because it is like one of those higher end, well-known brands.
So for items like this, I like to list them with free shipping if they're higher end and more expensive. So you could even up the price to $100 and then do free shipping. So you are swallowing half the shipping, but including part of it in the cost. And so this is sort of similar to Jason's sweater, where Ted Baker has their own sizing system. It's not quite the same as any other brand. And so it is complex to put like, oh, it's a size 8, but it's a Ted Baker 3. Some buyers are going to know the Ted Baker sizing, some aren't. I would put like the waist measurement in the title so that any buyer who knows what their waist size is knows whether or not this is going to fit them. And I think you have plenty of room for doing that.
Yeah, I see skirt length is I see the length. I don't see the waist or the hip measurements in there if I'm wrong, but I don't see them. And as a buyer, like those are measurements that I need and I look for right away. So
those are the most important ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely add those if they're, and they should all be in the item specifics. And the waist measurement would be a good thing to put.
Yeah. And then it looks like you might also have that issue where there's a few, specifics that are left over from selling similar because material says cotton blend wool and it is cotton spandex, right? So that's a little confusing. Definitely doesn't look like a wool skirt. So make sure you have that. And then the other thing is that
the last stain lining is polyester. So so fix that in item specifics.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a photo with the skirt measurements. So one thing I just remembered I wanted to talk about is that when you're looking at these items, everyone's item, this happened a couple times.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten that. Yes, there is. But you also need to have that in. I would still put it
in the description. Yeah. So when a buyer is looking on mobile and they're looking at the description, it tries to be smart and like pull out the most important parts of the description. And often eBay does a terrible job of doing that. So I'm mostly a mobile user. I almost always buy through the mobile app. I almost always list on the mobile app. But when I'm a buyer, I often find the frustration where I want to get information from the description, but I have to click through to another screen and you can't easily go back and forth between the photos and the description. So if you keep that in mind, so like
on mobile, it's harder. Yeah.
One thing that you did that was really helpful, but doesn't work well on mobile is you listed which photos were the stock images, but it's really hard on mobile to go between the description where you wrote that and see the images themselves.
I almost don't even think you need the stock images really.
So that's what I would do. Your photos are so good. I think that you could just use your own photos of the item because like if I was spending this much money on a skirt, I want to see the actual item. I don't really care that much about the stock photos. As long as your photos are excellent and they're excellent. So.
But I would try it on Posh too. And I do love this, by the way. Like it's like a Sizely kind of, I don't know what. Use, but I do like that. But I do think you need, like Lola said for mobile, I think it needs to be in the description too, because I had trouble finding it. And I actually forgot that you had that photo there. But you also make sure you add a hip measurement for skirt. I'm a hippie girl. I've always been that way, even when I was a size 2. I cannot buy a dress or a skirt without a hip measurement, and it drives me nuts because a lot of people don't put them in. So a lot of times I'll just skip over those listings if they don't have that measurement. So add that in.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like, so much of this listing is excellent. Yeah. I feel like we're being a little harsh on you because this is the first listing where it's like more in our wheelhouse. It's like, a design that we really like and stuff. So we have, yeah.
And you have all the photos, like the inside tags, the care tag. A lot of people don't include that. You even have like the inside of it. What does it look like on the inside? I mean, so your photos are fantastic. I mean, you have all the essential information in there. I think it's just a matter of, rearranging it a little bit and fixing the title a little and adding it to Poshmark.
Mm-hmm. Heather just asked if I list on my phone. I do for the most part. I do about 95% of the listing on my phone. I save it as a draft and then I pull it up on my desktop and just finish it up and make sure that I'm not missing anything because there are some of the like listing, especially like item specifics and stuff that are just easier to do on desktop.
So this is Becky's listing. Good luck, Lori. It's a great listing.
It's a beautiful skirt. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
And I would try free shipping on eBay with bump up the price a little. Okay, so this is mostly going to be.
I'm so excited to get some yarn.
So a lot of suggestions. Well, my only suggestions were basically to take out the spelling of the word 3. That's extra keyword space you don't need. just put the number 3 and take out the hyphen in the title, and then maybe add the ounces, 3.5 ounce. That was my suggestions.
Yeah, I would, instead of putting the ounces, I might just put the total yardage.
It is in there. Oh, you mean the total?
In the title.
It's 108 and 106 each. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the total.
I think you can rearrange the title a little bit. So, and this is interesting because this seems to be something that's come up on multiple items, is like the sequence of keywords in the title. I think you'd put the name of the yarn first and then put like 3 skeins and then the yardage. I don't think you need to put the lot in the title. That can go in the description. It's also in one of the photos very clearly. So I don't think you need to use up space for that.
Yeah.
It's a discontinued yarn, so you could put that in the title. There's room. And then definitely put the fiber content. I would actually prioritize that. I believe it's a wool cotton blend. So, those are 2 fibers that they're quite expensive. They're natural fibers. That's much different than cheap acrylic. So it helps to explain why your price is, very reasonable, but it is expensive. So, just justify that in the title. This is a Tweety yarn, so you could put that in the description. I wouldn't put that in the title, but it's something that you might add in elsewhere or in the item specifics. I think that's it.
I like how you have a close picture of the tag on there, because everything is on, all the information you need is right there, and you can see it closely.
Heather says, could a plain white background work for the yarn? It might help. I think for an artsy item, a little bit of an artsier photo is okay. It didn't bother me. Like, I didn't feel like it was distracting from seeing the yarn. I think there was something else.
I did just have a cha-ching, Brian, on my phone. I just sold a DVD for $24.99 plus shipping. Ooh. And I paid $1 for it. So
amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. So that was.
I think the only thing I wanted to add is that this is just a little bit of an odd amount of yardage. So especially for a bulky yarn, it's easy to, if you only have a couple skeins, like, you don't need as much bulky yarn for a full project, but like, this isn't enough for a sweater. It's a little bit too much for a hat. So it's just like a little bit of a weird amount. So it may just be a matter of time to find the right buyer who needs this exact color and needs more of it. Or who just impulse buys it and isn't thinking of a project. So
I think the price is good, though.
The price is good, yeah.
Okay, so good job, Becky. Hopefully that'll help. And our next one is Jess. So Jess has, I think Jess is in the chat. And okay, so this is a Guess black wool double-breasted pleated belted peacoat. So so my suggestions were, so I looked up a little bit here about, so this is actually G by Guess. It's a diffusion line of Guess. So so I looked up what G by Guess is. So you want to put G by Guess in the title. Peacoat should, I believe, be 2 words. So you don't really need the second coat. You could probably just put the word P in there, and it would.
Peacoat's one word.
Is it 1 word? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be totally wrong on that then. So the G by Guess, the Marciano brothers launched the brand extension G by Guess in 2007 as a lower price denim line accessible to the 16 to 23-year-old demographic. That was the description I got from when I looked it up. So I think it might appeal to a younger audience. So perhaps Poshmark or even Depop, I'm thinking.
It's such a sleek, classic style, though. I mean, definitely, I could see it going to sort of a broad audience of potential.
I'm also wondering if it's junior size, though. I didn't look at the measurement.
Oh, I see. So you're thinking that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So the bust is 18. So the bust is 36 inches. The waist is 16. Hip is 20 length. So it is, I guess it's about a regular medium.
It is a little small because you also usually have extra ease in a coat that's going to go over like a sweater. You're wearing multiple layers in the winter. So that's like a 36 bust is pretty small for a medium coat, I think. Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering if it's a junior sizing. That's what I was
that's a really good point. Yeah.
Because I think it's a junior's line if that's the target audience for that line, for the G by Guess line. So I think that's why I'm saying like maybe Poshmark or Depop, and you might need to list it under junior sizing.
Yeah, and again, putting the size, the bust size, like the measurement in the title might help because that clarifies what medium means in this case. Heather says, very nice photos. Definitely. Really good photos.
Yeah, and you have everything that you need there. Yeah, your photos are fantastic. There's nothing wrong with your photos, that's for sure.
Really good keywords in the title. Yep. One thing that jumped out at both of us is, again, the shipping on this. $22. Yeah. Makes sense.
I know you're in California, so it's shipping across the country. So I'm the most shipping it's going to be. So yeah, it's showing $22 to ship to me, which is reasonable. As resellers, we know it's reasonable, but to the casual buyer, they don't know that that's reasonable. They're going to be like, I don't. So maybe bumping up the price and adding the shipping in, or lessening the shipping,
or listing it on Poshmark, maybe, and just focusing on selling it there. Just it occurred to me that it's almost time for people in this part of the country to be looking for heavy winter coats. But if it's going to ship across the country to to where it gets cold, then most of the buyers who are looking at this are going to be seeing the same shipping price that we are. Yeah, I mean, I know coats are like, a good coat is really heavy, so it may just be a matter of thinking creatively about how you can make that shipping a little bit more palatable. Maybe swallowing part of it, adding part of it to the cost.
Yeah, I think because I think it's a heavy coat. I think people would be willing to pay a little more, and if the shipping looked a little better to us East Coasters, it might. I do think that Poshmark might help too, because the shipping up to like 6 pounds or whatever is 5 pounds, I think.
Oh wow, only $1 invested. I mean, it's such.
Wow.
It is real wool. It's a beautiful, like, classic style. I'm shocked it hasn't sold, honestly. I mean, your photos are great. It may be an issue of the size, that it's just a little bit.
Yeah, it is. I could put G by Guess and maybe add junior. Put it as a junior size and market it to a junior's audience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it does not call it. No, that is true, Brian. That's very true. So good job, Jess. Good luck with it. Hopefully, our suggestions will help. And then we have just a couple more here. Okay, so this one is Elisa's, and it is an awesome dress.
It is so beautiful. I was looking at the size of it because I was like, if this fits me, I am buying it from you. Unfortunately, it is too small. It's so stunning. I think we both had a few of the same reactions where the photos are beautiful. They would be great on Depop. I think for eBay, you might want a plain background, and of course it is hard.
The background, yeah.
It's a white dress, but using like the gray background that Jason used on the first item, the sweater at the beginning, like that's a really good neutral for a white item. But it's like the embroidery detail is so beautiful. I think you want to just simplify it and like make sure that the details draw the eye.
Yeah, I would also put embroidery or embroidered on it instead of just embroider. That's not look for.
Again, the bust measurement in the title might help, since you can't put it's handmade. You can't put it's extra small, because I know that was my reaction where I looked at the title and was like, oh, maybe it fits me because I don't know yet what size it is, and then I was like super let down when it didn't.
Lisa also put the measurements in the photos, and I see some of them in here, but I don't. She also has 2 foot length, which is a little confusing. I would put the length in inches, and 24 inches is very short for a dress. So I would, I don't know, that seems really short.
I mean, I think for an extra small, it
would be a short. So I would put that in inches too, and no size tag most likely. Yeah, put the. You definitely need the bust measurement. I don't see the bust measurement in the description anywhere.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you add bust and hips.
And hips, shoulder, maybe hips. Yeah,
length of the sleeves.
She has length.
Well, you do have it in the. Oh, that's just the length, right? Does she have the?
I don't know, because that says 41 inches, so that would be more of I don't know. I'm a little confused about the measurements.
Yeah.
That's okay. Here's more. So so I see it's like 15 inches across. Okay, so there's the bust there, and it looks like the bust is about 36, but it's also hard to tell. Like, we really need those. I think it's good that you have them in the photos, but again, I think we need them written
In
out.
the description. Yeah.
Okay, so there's the measurement that says 2 foot. Yeah, there's the measurement that says 2 foot for the length. So, okay. So yeah, I think just kind of.
So, and then let's scroll down again to the item specifics. It looks like there's a bunch that you could.
There's only 3 item specifics here.
Could fill out here. I would also make sure that the color is white. This is like a really pretty dress that could be worn for like a bridal shower or something like that. So I would emphasize that it's a white dress with blue detailing. The brand, obviously, I think you want to remove that and maybe put floral embroidery somewhere in the other item description or specifics. And then I'm curious how you dated it. This strikes me as it could be a little bit earlier than 50s. I think it might be 40s, with the buttons down the back is a very 40s thing. And then the side panel, instead of a zipper, it might be a little bit older than you have it listed as, which adds value to it. So
you also said to add cottagecore to it.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then Heather put that in the, yes, definitely cottagecore.
Okay.
So, and it is a beautiful background. It's really pretty. But I think that you definitely want to be drawing the eye to the item. And yeah, Lisa, I think that makes sense. So the skirt as in from like the waist to the hem.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that would make more sense. So the total length. So we're confused about the measurements and the sizing. So you really need to make that clear, I think.
Yeah, and it is a good measurement to have because different people will have, you know, different torso versus like leg length. So depending on that measurement could be different. People are looking for different proportions in their dresses, but especially for a handmade item where this was probably made to fit a specific person, it's not going to be the standard ready to wear measurements.
And maybe try it on Depop and Etsy, because that would be a great item for those platforms.
Definitely.
So yeah, so great listing. I think you just need a little help with the measurements and changing up the photos a little, basically. Add cottagecore, a couple keywords. All right.
It's stunning.
Yeah, and our last but not least one is Brian's listing. So Brian only has, let me just here. Okay. So this is an Eddie Bauer Weather Watcher Silver Portable LCD Weather. You have Weather Watcher twice in there. New sealed. Okay. So you got to take out the second one. You can add some other keywords. Not just exactly sure what, but you can definitely use, you've got that duplicated there. Photos it's a little dark. I think you could maybe take out the background, brighten it up a little, and maybe show, the back of the package, some more one photo. I know there's not a whole lot of photos that you could possibly do with this, but you can definitely, I would add more than one photo.
Yeah. And then I noticed that there were some other items that were suggested that were also like Eddie Bauer Weather Watchers, but they seem like a different style or like a different version of this item that I don't know if it's newer or older. So it may be helpful to look at those other listings and figure out, or maybe you already know, I don't really know what this item is. I'm not like an outdoorsy person, how those compare, because there were a couple listings that were cheaper and looked like they had more, like they had 2 pieces to it. So maybe they had more functionality. I'm not entirely, I don't know electronics well
enough. A little bit. I mean, he's got UPC, he's got all the item specifics in there. And I think also it might be, so there's one other listing. I didn't see any sold. I saw one other listing. It's the same price, but the shipping was a little cheaper. So it was also calculated though. So it might have been like just my distance is less.
Yeah.
So, but you're right in competition with that listing. So I would maybe add a couple more photos, get a little bit of a better photo of it. And lower your price by even like $1 or bump the ship, just so that you have some better competition with that other listing. But I mean, overall, it's there's nothing, you have all the pertinent information. Definitely take out the double weather watcher though, and add something else. It was a target market, you said.
Again, as a mobile user, I had trouble viewing your description because it has some of that. Wait, is that sarcastic or is that serious? Because you must be sarcastic, right? I'm like the least outdoorsy person ever. Nay, would you scroll down again?
Oh yeah, sure.
So the Octiva's scrolling gallery kind of messed up the preview for me on mobile. So you may also just be losing some browser people who are using the mobile app because of that.
Yep. Good point. Yeah, I had that a long time ago.
I thought so.
And then when things changed, I took all my Octiva out of there. I just paying for it, and I was like, I'm not. It's just.
But I mean, if this is an old like stale listing, it's easy to forget have this in some of your old listings. I know I have some listings that have been up for so long. I have no idea what's hidden in some of them. So, I mean, this is the pot calling the kettle black.
I'm really glad though that you mentioned that about the mobile viewpoint. So and there is one more that I have here. So this was Lisa's listing. This is such a good listing. We really had trouble finding anything. I think maybe just moving it to eBay because seasonal items tend to sell year round, maybe a little more often than eBay. On eBay, I know Lisa's in Canada. She doesn't have the Mercari option there. But it is, it's so adorable. I think maybe adding spring to it too. People will start thinking not just Easter, but spring. You have any other suggestions, Lola?
I really didn't. I looked at it on the browser. I looked at it in the Etsy app, and everything seemed, it was very clear. The photos are great. The keywords are great. It's so cute. I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, your description's really thorough. Literally couldn't think of really anything. So at least since it's of spring. Yeah.
Yeah, I know seasonal stuff sells all year on Etsy too, but maybe just moving it, cross-listing to eBay, maybe that'll push it. Maybe there's a eBay buyer that doesn't search Etsy that, who knows. But yes, I would try adding, I mean, that's a minimal suggestion, but your pictures are so great. It is so adorable. I love the kitsch factor. And
I think, sorry, do you mind pulling up her description again?
Oh yeah, sure.
So this is sort of what I think we were suggesting to Jason, where your description is really easy to read, but I see how you also have some really like kind of different keywords, but they're worked in really well. So like Lily of the Valley, I mean, it's probably not going to be the keyword that helps someone find this and search for that. But this is like just nailing it really well. A easy to read description that has those keywords that don't fit in the title. Yeah.
My cat. Yeah. But it is so cute. I think maybe it's just a matter of getting closer to spring but it's so cute. I love it. So yeah, so good job. And then we'll be taking the others next week. We'll be finishing up with so if we didn't get to your listings and you submitted them, we will get to them next week. So, actually, you know what? I just wanted to real quick. We'll put this in the.
Oh no! So this was the thing that I was going to try, and it didn't actually help.
Okay. Okay, I thought you were trying to show that for. Okay.
No, I think there is a way to pull up the mobile eBay website on your desktop, but it is just much easier, especially if you're not tech savvy, to just, if you have a cell phone, to pull it up on your cell phone. I'd imagine most of us do. So don't forget that the desktop shoppers and mobile shoppers will have different experiences.
Yeah. So couple things so first of all, let me just pull this one up. So
Angelique has a great timeliness tip. If you have anything Blue's Clues, list it now. Great reminder. Yes, that I've been so tickled seeing all the Blue's Clues memes.
Why is that? What did I miss a memo?
It was the anniversary, I think, and so Steve did a video basically like saying hello to all the kids who grew up with Blue's Clues and are grown up now. And
Oh,
it's really wholesome. And there's just been tons of memes based on the video he did. And it's like the thing that I think we all needed right now, like as the pandemic keeps dragging on, and like just a bright, like positive thing that was not at all depressing, like most of the news.
Okay, well, good tip. I didn't know that. So one thing, and I know Jason talked about this on his show. I know. So basically, you guys have probably heard this. Australia has temporarily suspended shipping via First Class Package International, Commercial E-Packet, International Priority Air Mail, or International Surface Airlift. It is due to COVID restrictions, I believe. But it does not affect eBay Standard International Delivery and GSP, so you can still use those. But I would also recommend using Pirate Ship because that's less expensive, and they work through Ascendia, so that is not affected. So you can still send them, but just be aware that you can't send like regular, first class international packages. So yeah, you can use global shipping. Like Heather said, you can still use eBay International Standard or Pirate Ship. So are still ways to get packages to Australia. Might be a little slower, but the other news.
Oh, good. Lisa says Canada Post is still shipping to Australia. So this is definitely like USPS and US centric, but
okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So it's not okay. The 2021 fall seller update did come out.
And sorry. Pirate Ship still ships to Australia. Yeah. Also very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. So this is interesting. It looks like there are a ton of category changes that mostly seem to be consolidating categories. So like a big one that jumped out for me is postcards, where it used to be that there would be like a different category for every single location. And now it's just going to be, I think it's like landscape postcards and non-landscape postcards. So my thinking about this is that they're relying on the item specifics to differentiate what the location is. And eBay is now feeling that the item specifics are functional enough that they can delete all of these extra categories.
Yeah.
So basically, I think this means make sure you have your item specifics on your items for the items, especially in these categories. So art was another one that seemed like they were consolidating. Dolls and toy collectibles are being consolidated. You can click through here and see all the changes.
Yeah, collectibles and art, jewelry, musical instruments, accessories, sporting goods.
Yeah, so definitely categories. I know that people who watch this show sell, so especially like the collectibles encompasses a lot of different items. So
there's new data on repeat customers.
Yeah, so there's also a tool now that will tell you if you have customers who are returning and how many are new. I think that would be really useful in conjunction with their new coupon code options. So whether or not those coupons are helping bring buyers back. So that seems really helpful.
Yeah.
Was it the multi-user account? You said that the big thing.
Well, it looks like there's just some changes to it. So I know that they added. I don't use that feature. I know those of you that have assistants use it, but I don't need to have. But you can add. So a couple of years ago, I believe they added, so that you can have multiple users logging into one account. So it looks like they've just added some security features to that, and additional like permissions and protections for multiple users, and some additional features of the things that the multiple users can do. So,
the other big change is promoted listings,
yeah,
which I feel like people are going to have some strong opinions about. So instead of just having the fee that you pay when the item sells, there's two different ways you can do promoted listings. You can also do pay per click. So list an item and have it promoted and you pay a fee every time someone clicks through to the listing, whether or not they purchase it. And you can promote it both ways, which sounds really complicated. And just the way they explain how they decide on the fees, like it depends on what type of promoted listing the buyer happened to click through. And it just sounds like it's going to be a headache. And I don't know why they don't just change it to pay per click if they think that's a better model.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious to hear what other people have to say about that, because it sounds like one of those changes that people are going to have really strong feelings about. So
yeah, so we'll see. That pretty much sums it up, I think, though.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys have any comments, let us know. Market report. I didn't do the market report last week either. So these listings. Some of these aren't like from this past week, but
I had a couple to share and I totally forgot. So
I didn't even ask. I'm so sorry.
I know, it's okay. I wanted to share the auction I told you about, but I will wait until next week.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You did have an interesting auction. Well,
I had a couple good sales this week.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry. You can pull them up real quick if you.
No, it's fine. We were already at like an hour.
I know. Well, I had so this Laura Ashley jacket has been sitting forever. So this was kind of a dud that sold. So that was kind of appropriate. I did sell it for $25 plus shipping. So it was a size small. I think the size might have been. It was really pretty. It was like a crepe kind of like.
Such a pretty color. I think that color is still.
Yeah, it was really pretty. So that sold, and then I'll do one more. So this one was a dress. It's a Talbot dress. It was a vintage 90s dress. I got it for $1 from Thrift to You. Yeah, it sold for $49.99 plus shipping. So
surprised you didn't add cottagecore to the title.
Yeah, well, I guess I could have done that. Yeah, that's true.
But obviously the 90s style thing sold it.
Yeah, so it sold for it was a size 10. It sold for $49.99 plus shipping. Mm-hmm. So I was quite happy with that. And then we're gonna get to our drawing now. So again, thank you to everyone, our viewers and guests and everyone who supported us. So we have one more t-shirt offered from Craig and Rick of Two Dogs Digs. That's follow their YouTube channel, their eBay store under that name. So they have, last week, Jess won a t-shirt, and they were kind enough to offer us one more t-shirt and any choice of design here. To another viewer who commented on our YouTube video. So we only had 5 people comment. So thank you to those 5 people. But here is the names of the people that commented. So we had Nellie. I saw Nellie in the chat. I saw Claire in the chat earlier. Tina, I don't think it's here. Brenda and Rhonda. So we have those are our 5 people. So I'm going to spin the wheel and see who gets it. Okay, so Claire is
congratulations. I don't know if she's still that's so fun. So Claire, if you are watching this, and we'll try to figure out a way to reach out to you if you're not, but get us your address and we'll make sure we get your prize.
Yeah. You can email us. We'll show our email address in a minute at naylothrift@gmail.com and let us know your address, and we'll or a way to connect you with Craig to get all the information that you need, because you have to pick out a t-shirt too. So.
Oh, right. Of course.
Yeah. So we do have a question. Have you turned any duds into scores by making some listing changes? So if any of you guys that we reviewed your listings, Claire, there's Claire.
Oh, good. Oh, you're here. I'm so glad.
Okay. So congratulations. Yeah. Email us at naylothrift@gmail.com and we'll put you in touch with Craig to get your choice and everything. So thank you so much for participating, and congratulations, Claire. Awesome. All right. So let us know any feedback if you've made any changes, you have a story, about a listing that we didn't review, or if any of these listings sell, if you make the changes, let us know.
And if you're watching this and you have more ideas for the listings that we talked about today, definitely comment and leave your ideas as well. So,
yeah. So Claire is also my mom's name, so I do love your name. It has spelled the same way. So, okay. So,
Claire, you watch us on your big TV.
Oh my gosh,
you don't look like terrible. I didn't wear makeup today, and I was like, I hope no one's watching on TV.
That's funny.
But that makes me really happy to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Claire. So congratulations. We'll get with you to get your t-shirt. And thank you again to Craig and Rick for their support and for offering those prizes. And to Jason, who offered the prizes. So remember, guys, comment on this video. I love Denison when it's up for a chance. And we'll put that, we'll draw that winner next week. So comment on the video for a chance. Okay, so here's where you can find us. I'm Thrifting A. Lola is mostly Lola Run. I am Coldbright Astic Dazzle on eBay. Lola is Low 2-Spy. And there is our email address. So Claire, take note of that to contact us. So, oh, so sweet. Thank you. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So
see you.
All right.
Bye, everyone.